Amid all this Israel derangement syndrome, you don't ever see these people talk about the threat of Islam.
I'm worried about the threat of Zionism that has cost this country at least $300 billion. We've definitely lost soldiers fighting Israel's wars. How many Muslim countries did we do that for? We're not believing your deflections and your distractions, bitch.
My name is Joshua and I'm 19 years old and I reverted to Islam 2 years ago, alhamdulillah.
Did you know if you teach a revert like me how to pray Salah,
you get the reward every single time I pray?
Every time I wake up for Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib and Isha.
You get the reward.
But have you ever thought about who teaches a revert's children how to pray?
The reverts, of course.
And you keep getting the reward for generations.
Donate now and help 10 reverts.
Learn Salah for just £100.
Assalamu alaikum brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's Salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please check out the description section of this video to support the channel. In case you didn't know, Laura Loomer is one of the biggest online Islamophobes out there. A quick scroll of her X profile shows endless posts of her degrading Muslims and Islam. So it's no surprise that Laura Loomer is a radical Zionist and a Jewish supremacist extremist, as well as a pro-Israeli shill that pretends to look out for the interests of America whilst putting Israel's interests before the US every opportunity she gets. And somehow this headbanger has massive access and influence over the Zionist-infiltrated Trump administration. Laura Loomer is basically the opposite of Anna Kasparian, with Anna being a courageous young woman with sound morals who advocates for justice and equality for all human beings, regardless of their race or religion. Here's a recent clip of Anna Kasparian lighting up Laura Loomer for lying about Islam and Muslims on behalf of Israel.
Amid all this Israel derangement syndrome that we're seeing from many people on the right, they got to stop being so obsessed with Israel and so obsessed with the Jews. You know, it's not the Israelis that are going to have another 9/11 here.
Now hang on a second.
Not obsessed with the Jews. I'm obsessed with the country that is sucking up our resources to commit atrocities and slaughter innocent people in the Middle East. And I'm not going to stop talking about it just because the likes of Laura Loomer accuse people like us of being obsessed. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the country that's destroying our country. So this discussion began when Loomer claimed that the Trump administration is being manipulated by the government of Qatar. Hilarious. Here's the clip.
We could have had the hostages out. We could have had the hostages out 2 years ago, but it was the Qataris that were providing safe haven to the leaders of Hamas so that they weren't killed by the IDF. Are those our allies? Where are the dead bodies of the American hostages that we were told that were going to be turned over weeks ago when this peace deal was finalized? Qatar controls Hamas at the end of the day. They do. Amid all this Israel derangement syndrome that we're seeing from many people on the right, you know, you don't see these people ever talk about Islam. You don't ever see these people talk about the threat of Islam. They got to stop being so obsessed with Israel and so obsessed with the Jews.
I'm worried about the threat of Zionism that has cost this country, I mean, when it comes to funneling our resources to Israel, at least $300 billion. We've definitely lost soldiers fighting Israel's wars. I mean, how many Muslim countries did we do that for? And by the way, I was told by the likes of Laura Loomer that I should be very concerned about Muslim terrorists. Why should you fund them? It's not a regime issue in Israel. This is the identity of that country. The Greater Israel Project has been pursued, whether Netanyahu's in charge or some other political opponent of his is in charge. We don't have to go to war with Israel, although I wouldn't be against it, but that's not gonna happen. I'd like to decouple. They are not our allies. Decouple, let's separate. No more money for you. No more aiding and abetting your war crimes. No more bribing Egypt so they play nice with you. Decouple, that's what I want. And then Israel can do whatever they want with their regime, but I want nothing to do with them. That's what I want. That's the correct answer. You owe us, pay us back. All that money that you use for atrocities and land theft. Okay, no, I loathe the fact that we have any relationship with Israel. It's an embarrassment to this country. All right, final video we'll go to, because Laura Loomer says, no, come on, you think Israel is manipulating and controlling our government? That's crazy.
I don't ever see any of the people that focus all of their efforts on criticizing Israel. I wish that they would criticize Qatar as well. My point is that if you're gonna criticize Israeli influence in American politics, talk about the Qatari lobby. They spend way more money, they own way more real estate, and they're giving way more political favors to American politicians.
I'm not going to, but I've never wanted to utter the R word more than this very moment. What's the influence? How are they effing us in the ass the way Israel is? We're not believing your deflections and your distractions, bitch, okay? It's not gonna work.
The absolute audacity and hypocrisy of Laura Loomer to suggest that anyone is obsessed with Israel because of Judaism when her garbage brand is built upon her obsessively trash-talking Muslims and Islam to further the Zionist agenda. Maybe, just maybe, people hate Israel because they won't stop killing tens of thousands of kids, Laura. The same double standard applies to Laura's scare tactics claiming that Muslims are going to commit another 9/11, especially when we consider the strong evidence that suggests 9/11 was a false flag attack masterminded by the Israeli government to manipulate the US into invading Iraq on their behalf. Anna Kasparian was spot on when she said she has every right to oppose Israel due to them draining the US of resources to fund their war crimes and atrocities across the Middle East. As Anna said, false accusations of being obsessed with Israel or Jews in general won't fly, because until the Israeli government stops their extremism, we will not stop exposing their evil deeds. Anna was correct to call out the ridiculousness of Laura Loomer's projection when Loomer blamed Qatar for meddling with foreign politics as a deflection tactic to take the spotlight off Israel, who, as we can already see, have ruined the Western world through their various control mechanisms. And as far as Laura's claim about hostages being released 2 years ago, Israel refused the offer of their hostages being returned immediately because Benjamin Netanyahu wanted to destroy Gaza in order for Israel to steal more Palestinian land. And in answer to her question regarding where the bodies of the deceased captives are, they're most likely under the 50 million tons of rubble in Gaza created by Israel, alongside the dead bodies of tens of thousands of missing Palestinians. Laura was also very upset that Qatar supposedly stopped the IDF from killing people, as she said. This woman is a lunatic. The IDF should most definitely be stopped from killing people because it's immoral to do so. Anna brilliantly picked apart Loomer's false claim that the religion of Islam is a threat to the West by pointing out that the ideology of Zionism is a real threat to global peace. Anna backed this up with facts about how Zionists are responsible for costing us hundreds of billions of dollars to fund their endless wars, which result in the deaths of millions of people who are mostly non-Jewish and non-Israeli. As Anna said, no Muslim country has ever come close to causing the amount of carnage and chaos that Israel does. She was also correct when she said any so-called Muslim extremism in the Middle East is documented to be funded by Zionists and the Israeli and American governments to further their political aims. Anna made the claim that Israel's corruption and colonial ambitions have been problematic since their forced inception in 1948, and even went as far as saying that the US should be going to war against Israel rather than fighting wars for them. Like she said, Israel is not an ally to the US, and that America would benefit greatly if they stopped financing and arming Israel, instead of being complicit in their land theft. Both Anna and I are in agreement that Laura Loomer is a cheap, low-life propagandist. And to back this up, I'll leave you with a clip of this shill literally eating dog food on camera for $100.
This isn't a gimmick. This is not just, some trash dog food from China. You could actually eat it yourself. Clearly says dog food topper. And I'm going to put this in my mouth right now. So it tastes like meat, and maybe that is disgusting to you. Clearly says dog food topper. You can see on camera. Actually tastes good. I'm not gonna lie. It's nutrition for your dog in every bite. You could even eat it yourself.
The moral of the story, never trust Zionists. Thank you for watching. Until next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.